Hi everyone, I'm Janice Wood. Welcome to a Senior Citizens Forum presented by Benefits for You 2 Insurance Services. And of course at Benefits for You 2 Insurance Services, we like working with seniors. So you're experts,
Yes.
in Medicare insurances, Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare prescription drug plans, and Medicare supplemental plans. We love working with seniors, and we also do regular health insurance if you are in the need of that. But today my guest is Elana,
Yes.
Feldman, who I've known since she's little. Yes.
You can even
And I know her parents really well.
Yes.
Okay. We have a history together.
Yes, we do. A very good history.
A major history. And we just have a lot of fun. Elana loves to work with seniors.
It is my favorite thing. I think I'm an old soul with a young heart. And
Yeah.
I was called Grandma growing up.
Yes, your grandma. And don't take this as an
I won't.
insult.
I won't.
Okay?
Yeah.
But for your mother, this is going to be, I think I see a lot of the same traits as what your mom does.
Yes.
Likes to help people out.
Yes.
And I see you having those same traits of liking to work with people and helping them out.
I love it. I also got it from my dad too. We've
Yeah.
always given back, and I feel like my purpose on earth is to help and give back and kind of serve.
Yeah. And your mother does it in a different way than you do.
Yeah.
But she's definitely there because I've been working with some of your mom's friends.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going through things in different stages.
Right.
What goes on
And they're so
in life.
lucky to have you to be patient and kind and like work through it, because I think so many times when we're doing transitions or we have to do these big things, it's who helps you with it, and you're really great with helping them and really making them feel comfortable.
Yeah. So we have, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's hear it.
So, and of course, I'm a senior citizen myself, so I'm going to say, well, I'm a senior citizen as we go into our subject here. Her parents are senior citizens, and both her dad and I have had, her dad and myself have had some health issues over the last year. And Elana has a show that she puts on that we're going to talk more about. And her dad just recorded a show with her, and I know it has to be absolutely fun.
It was absolutely fabulous. It was just one of the funnest shows because it just flowed really nicely, just like us. It's like you get to talk and just really fully be vulnerable and authentic.
Right.
And that's what I love about you is you're authentic online and offline.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So what we're going to talk about, Elana has... she likes to work with people for exercise. She likes to help people through cancer situations. But the thing that she really likes to do is to motivate people. And as seniors, there's some type of motivation is needed.
Right.
So even though I'm coming across upbeat right now, there are definitely times I'm not upbeat. Something may be bothering me. Maybe I'm not feeling well, or I don't like what the doctor said, or something in my...
Or you slept funny, or just anything. It could be anything.
Or like with seniors, because I deal with seniors all the time too, okay? Maybe they lost a loved one.
Right.
And that loved one can be a family member, it can be a friend.
Even an animal.
Yeah, definitely.
I think so many times we rely on an animal, and when they pass, it's... that's really hard too, and how to handle that as well.
Right, because I know I have a dog that's over 19 years old.
A senior dog.
Yeah. She's in the back. She's in the back right now. Okay. And it's just like I'm watching the changes.
Right.
And those same changes are happening to us. Happen to them faster because their life expectancy isn't as long as ours.
Yeah. But you can see the transition as well.
I totally can see the transition. So, the transitions that happen to us is the same thing.
Exactly.
I mean, I got up, went to bed last night. I felt absolutely terrific.
Yeah.
I was happy. I woke up in the morning. What's wrong today?
You woke up on the wrong side of the bed today.
Right. No, it's like, well, that knee doesn't want to move today.
It's like, that little pain in my back or my neck.
Right.
And then you get up and you're like, how is this possible?
How? Absolutely. I mean, it's like, it wasn't there.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so when you're in this situation, how do you get out of it? Or like, what makes something that you want to hear or something like that?
Well, for me, I'm like, I'm not going to let it get me down.
Yeah. And that's what I love about you, is like, no matter where you're at, you don't allow it to define you.
It's not going to define me or rule me.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's like I'm diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So does the diabetes, how does it affect my lifestyle?
Right. And not allowing it to define you and say, oh, I have this, poor me, or you've never been a poor me, or what it is. You work, how do you solve that?
How do I solve the
Yes.
situation
Right.
so I can continue on?
Yes.
No, do I stop going to a restaurant?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Okay?
Like, why stop that?
But have I gone and learned what I can eat and what I can't eat?
Mm-hmm.
Have I learned what to ask the waiter, please? No salt. And you know food tastes better with salt.
Yes, it does. I feel you on that.
But please cut back on the salt.
Yes, exactly. Just
And you get to the point, because we're seniors,
Right.
we have the right to say what we want.
and you can eat what you want, you can do what you want, you have no filter, and everything goes.
We don't have to have filters,
Yeah.
but we still have to be polite.
Yes,
Okay?
yes, yeah. You know, that's what I also, one of my grandmas who passed, I love her, you know, I'd always say, you can say what you want, but it's how you say it. You gotta be nice. Or, you know, she'd say these things, and I told her, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Well, yeah, saying it is a different story, but we're not going into that today, okay?
Yeah.
But it's just learning what you need to do. So if I'm having high blood pressure, cholesterol problems, go see a nutritionist.
Ask for help. I think
that's the clue thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Asking for help, okay? So where does the help come from? Does it come from a wellness coach? They're going to call you a wellness coach?
Or guide.
Or guide,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. And she will guide you,
Yeah.
it's a good word, and where to go.
And make it custom. And, you know, there's not one specific thing for one person, because we are all different and we all have different needs and wants, and it's just working together of what is needed and what is wanted and how to work through it, and asking for your needs and showing up that way.
And that takes me into a situation in my own home.
Yes.
I have another half, okay?
You do?
Yes, I do, okay. And he and I do not eat the same food. If I ate like him, he said, I'm dramatic when I say this, I know I'd be dead. Literally. So he eats what he eats, and I eat what I eat, and I will go out and buy him what he wants, and he goes out and buys me what I want.
Compromising.
It's compromising. So I've had people ask me, well, how does that work? Okay. You don't sit down together. No, we can sit down together, but we eat different foods.
Yes. And that's okay. You know?
And it's definitely okay.
And it works, people. It does work.
It does work. Now, do I want to eat what he's eating sometimes? Absolutely.
Oh, of course. You know?
Okay. But I have to, I'm one that sits there and goes, what are the consequences if I do that?
But that's good, because there always are consequences, like actions with your consequences and things, but showing up for yourself, and that's what it is. You care enough about you to ask. You care about you to show up for yourself.
Yeah. So that was just a side thing there. But I think one of the important things is know to help. Mm-hmm. I mean, another place to go get some help is your doctor.
Yes. Like, I mean, the easiest thing to do.
Your primary care doctor. Yes, I know in this day and age, they're hard to get a hold of.
Right.
But if you need a referral to a nutritionist, a dietitian for your diet.
Right. There's so many ways, and I think sometimes we get scared and we don't want to go to the doctor because we don't want to hear the outcome, and we don't. But that's where, you know, I could come and someone other. You have friends. You ask for help. You know what? I'm a little scared. Would you mind going with me? Would you mind showing up? Or, you know, what can I ask the doctor? You know, things like that. I think we live in this fear, but it's just, once again, asking for help and showing up for yourself.
And one of the things I want to go, because I do this session in senior communities, it's called How to Prepare to Go to the Doctor.
Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, I really like that.
So we have some key things.
Yeah.
So write down before you go to the doctor.
Right.
Okay? write down on a piece of paper
Mm-hmm.
in your iPhone
Yeah.
or your smartphone.
Yeah, nowadays you could just talk it into your phone. You don't even have to write it.
Right. I mean, but that's technology.
Yeah, right.
Okay. What you're comfortable doing.
Yes, that's the key word, comfortable.
Comfortable doing, okay? Write down what issue you want to cover, because I know when I go to the doctor,
Yeah.
I did the same thing with you.
Yeah.
You get into so many subjects, you forget that important thing. Oh my God, I forgot I had that hangnail.
Right.
On that left
Yeah.
shoulder.
Or you're going to bed and then you wake up in the middle of the night. I didn't ask this. Or,
Yeah, I
you know?
didn't do that. So write it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I take somebody with you.
I was just going to say that. I do that all the time. I tell anybody, if you need someone to go, I will go with you. It's always better to have a second set of ears, because when you're hearing something, sometimes you may miss it because you're so you're not fully present because you're trying to hear everything.
Yeah. Now, one of the things, Elena's mother has a friend,
Yeah.
okay, who they needed some help, okay? So some of the plans, Medicare Advantage plans,
Yeah.
not all of them, have something where you can record your doctor's visits.
What? That's
So-
amazing too.
But even on your phone,
Yeah.
you can record your doctor's visits, because you got to ask your doctor.
If it's okay.
First, okay.
Remember, always ask someone. If
Always ask if they're recording them.
Yeah.
But also, in most medical groups, when you go,
Yeah.
they give you a summary.
They do. You know, that's funny you say that. Actually, last night I have my chart,
Right.
and so I was looking at something and I was like, oh, doctor's visit. And then it's like notes. I was like, oh, wow. Like, I didn't realize. So they do. So that is a beautiful thing now, is that they do take notes, and so you can go back and look in your charts and things like
Go
that.
back. But sometimes I go into my chart
Yeah.
notes and I'm going, what they're talking about.
Yeah, that too. I'm
'Cause
like,
I
what is
heard-
that word? Yeah, and I heard something different. I'm like, what is blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So it's like, it's medical today is overwhelming.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And they're trying to help us out.
Right.
So take advantage of it, because I know I've talked to so many seniors and they'll say, well, I take that stuff that they give me and I throw it out. No,
No,
because
you
on there it has your point, it will have your next appointment.
Right.
It also has what's really is important, and your medicines, okay?
Yes. And you can't just decide to quit them or not do them, or, oh, I'm just going to do half, or, you
Right.
got to really show up for yourself.
It tells you right there what to do.
Very detailed.
Very detailed.
Black and white.
So if you don't know how to use my chart, I know I would love to help you, and I know
Yeah, I could definitely help. So
Yeah.
once again, asking for help, and it's okay. Like, I have to ask for help. Sometimes I feel I need to ask a 5-year-old how to use the phone.
Absolutely.
And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it.
I go over with my grandson.
Yeah.
And first thing they go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I need to do this. And I go, what are you doing with my
Yeah,
phone?
that's what I was saying. I don't know. What are you doing to her? Like beep boop bop boop bop boop. And they're like,
But ask them, because they know, okay?
and they love it. And I think that's beautiful that you could help your grandson and vice versa. and no matter like what the age, it's like the full circle, and you can all help each other out in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
You know?
I know last year we took our grandson to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Okay, and I wasn't feeling good. I'm not going to go into it. It was one of those embarrassing situations that happen when you're older. And I said, I handed him the phone and I said, order me an Uber. Just do it. You're faster than me. You're never going to be as fast as them, but you can do it.
Right.
You can do it.
Exactly. It's like you can do it, you know?
So I was asking him for help.
Yeah. And that's beautiful because, you know, I think too, sometimes roles reverse, and for kids have to ask parents and vice versa, or the kid becomes the parent sometimes. And, and talking kind of about, we can maybe say a little bit of role reversal and how hard that is to ask a child or something to show the vulnerability of help.
Oh, I think for me personally, I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of my clients where their family members or their children now need to be participating in their medical care, or even helping you do the finance.
Right. And they feel like sometimes, you know, with my grandma, the independence, like, well, I could still do it. And then it's like, yeah, we know you can. You know, it's just, I think sometimes you want to help, but when it's that role reversal, you feel that that's taking away from you or your independence.
Well, absolutely.
You know, having that independence, or so into being independent, and then when someone says no, you turn childlike. Like, why are you telling me no? You know, like I'm the parent, you know, and that too.
Yeah, because you're so used to taking care of your children.
Right.
And of course, if you want to take care of your grandchildren, nieces and nephews, and the whole thing. But you need to ask them for help, because the aging process can be, each person is different.
Right, each person is different.
But the aging process is going to be different for everyone. But at some point in time, we're going to need it. Yes. May it be because of physically, may it be because there's things going on mentally. And I have a girlfriend. We've been friends for 50 years. Yeah. Okay. We've always done tons of things together. But we noticed 3 years ago, we all know what happened 3 years ago, but right before the pandemic started, she lost her husband. Okay. Yeah. So she was by herself, lived out completely far from where I live, so it wasn't close to where I could go. Yeah. Okay. And there was stuff going on. She needed help. She finally needed help, and her son came out last summer and said, "This is it. You're moving. Yeah, you're moving to Florida." Okay. Oh wow. And that's what she did. Yeah. Okay. So she picked up, and now she's living in Florida. And last week we just had a delightful time because she is not one that's into electronics. Yeah. Where I've done the electronics. Yeah, you know. Okay. Because I can go back to my father who was into all that kind of thing. And I inherited that gene.
Well, my dad, but I didn't inherit that gene.
Yeah, I inherited that gene. So for me, it's like, okay, I'm going to do it. Right. Some of it may be difficult. Yeah.
But you're still doing it.
But I'm going to still do it.
And you're showing up.
She's one that's totally refused to do it, period. I'm not going to do it. She had a flip phone.
Yeah, a flip phone. Okay, she really did not want to do it.
Okay. Was not into it. Her son years ago bought her a smartphone. She wasn't going to. No way. But there's another girlfriend. Yeah. Who always watches these shows. Yeah. Okay, she knows I've been talking about her. Okay. And she we're both into this stuff. Yeah. Okay. And we talk all the time on Zoom. Yeah. Okay. And so finally, my girlfriend who lives in Florida now, her son called up and said, "Let's try FaceTiming." Well, it didn't work for some reason because he didn't have an iPhone, which is FaceTime. Didn't work. I said, "But I Zoom all the time." Yeah. Okay. So let's do a Zoom. So the three of us got on there, and he got her to Zoom.
What?
And we had the best time. Yeah. So even though it's out of your comfort zone, try it.
Right. It just pushes and nothing's permanent. You try it once, you don't like it, you don't ever have to do it again. So I think it's exactly, try it. Get out of your comfort, because we're so used to that comfort zone that we place ourselves in this little box. But if we think outside of the box, I think so many more things can open up.
And then one of the things with seniors, which is taking me to, and this, people, they get lonely. And I know you have that. Yes. Especially during the pandemic, and we're still trying to transition back into the culture now.
Yeah, and I think too, touch and hugs and things like when I taught and I was with my classes and my people, my number one thing was I'd always give someone a hug, and that was like I was known for a hug and a smile. My dad always taught me, and our parents were talking, smile at someone. You never know who needs it, let alone when you're talking on the phone. Always smile too.
Absolutely.
They can tell. That was a trick of the trade from my father. Is he always says smile when you're talking.
Always, because they can hear it in your voice.
Yes.
They can tell because sales technique. Yes. It's a major sales technique. Always smile, and you should be standing up.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
But for seniors, I was trying to go with that, Zoom is a very new thing for everyone. Yes. Okay. And you get in and do it. But if you're by yourself and you have family somewhere else, right? I mean, and I'm talking somewhere else, anywhere, almost anywhere in the world. Okay. You can get in contact with them and do a Zoom. No, it's not touchy-feely.
Yeah, but you still have that presence. Because I said, what did they do back in the day when we didn't have phones? We didn't have FaceTime. We didn't have all these things. So thankful for that, because even when my grandma was up far away, we were able to FaceTime her. Or I have a cousin in London, and we could FaceTime and have that. And you're so right. Even though you didn't have that touch, you still had that interaction.
It's the interaction. Yes. So I know every Sunday, my family meets on Zoom.
Oh, I love it.
And we have people in Hawaii, we have people in Florida, Chicago, Brazil.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole lineup. We've had people traveling in Europe just to come and say, hi, this is what we're doing. And they show us what we're doing.
That.
And it's a really strong connection.
Right.
And like right now we're going through something in my family where I'll start crying. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a little 4-year-old
Yeah.
great niece
Yeah.
who has leukemia. And we have to stay in touch.
Yeah.
So when my sister-in-law comes on, even though we're seeing stuff on Carrying Bridges and stuff, we want to know. And it's just, and we're happy to hear it straight from her.
Yes, because, you know, so many times when you hear these things, it's like, not gossip, but you hear from here and here, you want to hear from the source.
You want to hear from one of the reliable sources.
Right.
Like, I don't want to bother my great niece's mother, who's actually my niece, because she's got 3 other children besides this one.
But, you know, sometimes as much as you don't think they want to, those people who are that busy do want to hear.
Well, but we're doing it in a different way. We send her text messages.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, something like that.
So those smartphones,
are saved.
iPads.
Yeah.
I mean, we stay in touch.
Yeah.
And then we talk to my sister-in-law instead of bothering her.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just like, oh, so that's like a depressing thing. She could see the tears in my eyes when I start thinking about what she's going through.
No, I mean, and once again, it's just so beautiful how you show up because you're putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It's, you know, I feel right now the world's very selfish and, you know, everybody's doing all these things, but seeing someone else's story and putting yourself out there and really, I think that's so beautiful about you is that you truly care.
Yeah, so it's important
to show up.
To show up, and then it's just like, no, we don't all show up on the same Sunday.
Right,
we all show up
but you still show up at different times. You're still
and
showing
up. And somebody will show up. Oh, did you talk to so and so? How's this going? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a great way.
Yeah, 100%.
And the people are just all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah. And I keep thinking, and some seniors are having your children move away.
Right. Exactly. You know, and then you can't have all these things, but it's like great. You know, exactly for holidays. Our family does Zoom stuff too. We had Hanukkah and we did a Hanukkah Zoom and everybody got to light the candles together and we were all in different parts of the world, but we all got to be united together
and we do that too.
Yeah.
We do that too. And then the other thing is I've been through the thing and I found it very depressing. Yeah. Okay. Is that my son, who has always lived right by me for 40 years, even when he went to college, he still wasn't that far away, got married and moved to Brazil. Which was a major thing for me.
Right, of course it is.
Major thing for me. And it's depressing and it's the whole number. But I look at it just like you said. I can Zoom with him.
Right.
You can
still text him.
We use all the different things to stay connected. And I had to stop and say, okay, you're being depressed over this, Janice. Yeah. Okay. But just think, if I was in the 1600s, the 1400s, and my family picked up and moved away.
You would never talk to them.
Especially when you were in Europe and they moved over to North America and South America. You were never going to hear from them again. Yeah. You had no idea.
And isn't that crazy to think of that concept that we rely so much on our phones and all this technology now and think like, well, how did they survive back in the day?
I don't know. How did I survive 20 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. Or I didn't get a cell phone until I went away to college. And nowadays kids at 3 years old are like, here, here's my cell phone. I'm like, what? I'm mind blown.
It is mind blowing.
It really is. And to think, the process, like these 3-year-olds, how smart they are. I was like, was I that smart at 3? If I was given a phone at that, would I, process? Or is like they, it's funny. You think each generation or what it is and how the technology changes.
And if you look at seniors. Yeah. Okay. This is still like, I don't want to do this.
Right. It's like, I don't want to. And I think a lot of times I notice seniors, change is really hard for them.
Any kind of change.
And I'm not just saying like, just to categorize, but I feel because of the generation and what they're known as and what that's all they know. But the change is extremely hard.
Oh, it is, especially if you lived in your home and you raised your children and all of a sudden you're moving. And do you move to a community?
Right.
Okay? And that can be depressing.
Yeah, because everything's done and then you're kind of forced to be in an environment, like, I think community is great, but if you get to choose your community.
Right.
You know, sometimes we're forced into a community that isn't conducive for us, and
now,
then that's
do you go into senior community?
I actually do. So I love to. I used to volunteer for a friendly senior program where I was a volunteer with a gentleman, and I stopped that program. But I go to these homes and I do a pop-up chair yoga, or oh my gosh, it was so cute. On Valentine's Day, they did a king and queen, and they had an Elvis impersonator.
Okay.
So I went and danced with them, and just acknowledged. It was saying hello to someone. It was acknowledging, hey, I love your shirt. Like, no one's done that. Like, no one's told me that in so long. You know, it's just, right. I think we want to all be acknowledged.
I think it's important because the senior communities I go into, so if you're having trouble getting motivated, look at the calendar that the senior communities have.
Yeah, I love the activity calendar. That's why I went. Yeah, I went for their Valentine's. I did their chair yoga, right. You know.
I mean, because I go into senior communities now, like I have 2 communities that I go into. They're totally open since the pandemic.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Some of them are still haven't opened up yet, okay? And we're going to do how to use your smartphone.
Amazing. Like, and that's what's so needed because half of them don't. And, you know, and going into just, because I think sometimes they're afraid to ask or they feel
that help.
You know, that helps.
So we're going to be there to help use the smartphone. But one of the things that we're going to talk about using the smartphone is because your medical insurances also have sites that you can go to that you can address, and you can go in and look. Majority, I'm not going to say all, the majority of the medical group are using either MyChart or something very similar to MyChart.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And that makes it good because then they don't really have to change. It's the same kind of format, so they can be like, oh, it's different here or there.
Well, some of them even within MyChart are slightly different according to the thing. And so it's there. And what we're going to do, Lauren, my assistant, and I are going to go out and we're going to
amazing, wonderful assistant,
Lauren, what to do. Yeah. Right. We all love Lauren.
Yes, we do. We love you, Lauren.
Okay. So we're going to go out and we're going to show them what to do.
I see, and I think that's so great. I think more of that is just needed. And someone cares that you're taking the time
we're taking the time. And this is like little steps that you can use if you leave it or in the senior community.
And baby steps. You know, I think people get overwhelmed. They think, I have to do my phone and I have to do this. One day at a time, one thing at a time.
One challenge
at a time.
Yes,
exactly. You don't have to complete everything. It's one challenge at a time.
And learn that challenge.
Yes.
And we're just using the smartphone
as an example.
As an example, because there's lots of different challenges out there. Maybe your challenge is you're shy and you don't want to go out and participate in a group.
Right.
So go sit in the back of the room.
Right, exactly. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to. And here it is. You have a choice and nothing is permanent. You go once, you don't like it, you don't go again. But be proud that you did and you showed up for yourself.
No, one of the things that Lauren and I do, we're bingo callers. People laugh when I say that. Are you really a bingo caller? Yes, I am. Did I know how to do it when I first started? No. I didn't even play bingo. Okay. But I'm going, I could take the ball and call it.
Right, of course.
Totally out of my comfort zone. Okay. All right. And every place I go to, they play it differently. All right. I can adapt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adapting.
And if I make a mistake, who cares?
And can you say that again? I love that because people are so afraid to make a mistake or they're wrong. But like, I think making a mistake is so humble because it's like, it's okay.
Yeah. So when I go to call bingo, and they may say something like, any bingo caller out, any bingo person I was going to go, no M's are called. And you call an M, the whole place will go, no M. So I made a mistake and we go on.
You go on.
And they come up to you afterwards and say, oh, you did a good job. Okay.
Right.
But what I want to go back to is that I notice there's people that are shy over the years and they sit in the back.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I see them moving up. And all of a sudden, not only are they moving up, the people are coming up to them and talking to them. So it's just one little step at a time.
Right, exactly. One day at a time, one step at a time. It's, you know, I think as I said, society, we put pressure. We have to complete the list and do. And if we don't, there's no right or wrong. It's how you want it. You have a choice how you choose to show up and what vibe you want to get.
Right. So I have a gentleman that I know, okay? And he moved into a community.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. So I just said, go try bingo. Just go try bingo. So he tried bingo, and then I see all of a sudden he's keeping company with one of the ladies. And then they broke up, okay? It's just all right. And then the next thing I know, I went into the community for something else other than bingo. The bingo was going on, and I look in, there he is, calling bingo.
What?
I mean, it was like...
I mean, isn't that such a beautiful thing to see someone come out of the comfort and like just know that they have that in them? But like when you see that, the excitement of like, I knew you could do that.
You can do that, okay? So it's really a lot of fun. So even though you may have to walk with a walker.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's fine. So what?
You know, I think my grandma gets embarrassed sometimes and she thinks, oh, people are going to think less than me. And I said, you take that walker, you stand up tall and proud, and who gives a crap what anybody says, because, and I said, your walker doesn't define you, and I think that's the big, I don't want to take my pain, they're going to think it. I said, it doesn't define you. You're still the beautiful woman you are. Just because you have that does not define or make you less. And
I don't think so much for caring what other people think. It's that
she does care what other people
think.
Well,
I know, but for some of us, it's giving up that next step.
Yeah, the independence. Wait, we were talking about transition. Watching it like, okay. And what's hard too is sometimes in your mind, you have it, but your body isn't moving the way your mind is moving. So I think that's another hard thing for my grandma. Like, I'm still mentally with it, but my body is not where my mind is.
Yeah, and I totally have that.
And so how do you kind of deal with like that mentality?
Well, how do I deal with it? One, as I said earlier, I'm not going to let it define me.
Right.
Okay. And I'm not going to give into it.
I like that.
But I also have to, okay.
Yeah.
Be practical at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. And I can go back, as I said at the beginning. I had some health issues.
Right.
I had a stroke that I didn't know I had.
Wow.
I knew I lost my peripheral vision on the right side.
Okay.
Okay. And I went to the ophthalmologist, and they said,
did you lose any speech of any sort?
No, I didn't even know I had it. Okay, had no idea. Okay, and the ophthalmologist goes, you had a stroke, and I went, I had a what?
You're like, what? Me?
What are you talking about? Well, you had a stroke.
Wow.
And I went, all right.
Yeah. You're like,
I had a stroke. Well, I knew I lost the sight right here.
Right.
Okay, so. Because I'm out and about, okay, I was nervous about being on the freeway.
Okay, very understandable.
Because those cars come up really
and there's
quick.
so many blind spots, and people are in and out, and the drivers these days, I don't even want to drive.
I have a newer car, so I got all the safety features, which are great. So if you have this problem, the safety features are fabulous, okay? Even though they may get on your nerves.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But so now I take surface streets everywhere when I drive, okay? And I pay attention to my safety. I also make sure I look to the right, but when my car starts beeping, I pay attention to it.
Me too. I do have the beeper on my car, and I have to tell you that saved me too, because I've been in 3 car accidents, and sometimes I wish I would have heard the little beeper so I could get out of the way.
The beeper, And I've never been in, I'm always in where somebody hits me.
Yeah. I've been hit 3 times.
Okay. So when you're hit,
it's a lot.
So I've never really caused a car accident.
Right.
But I don't want to be responsible for causing a car accident, because it doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Right.
But the new cars and their safety features
really helps.
Really helps. It makes a difference. So I take surface streets. Does it take me longer to get where I'm going? Usually it's 10 minutes more.
Yeah.
And I get to see things I never knew existed.
And I think people are like, oh my God, it's 10 more, so it's 10 more minutes of your life. Like 10
it's
more
10
minutes of being in the car.
Like,
I feel people are in such a rush, or I feel they have to have that instant gratification. I need to get there. And that's on the freeway, or this, or what it is. It's stop and smell the roses. Stop and look at your surroundings. Exactly. Maybe you see a new tree or a new person or a new restaurant that you would have never seen.
Well, for
because
me, I'm always looking for senior citizen community.
Or senior citizen community, like whatever you're looking for, your eyes are more open to that, because you're not on the freeway, you're not rushing, you're present.
Yeah. Now, are those stop signals a pain in the butt?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just part of it. But at least I'm still going out there.
Right, exactly. And that's what I was going to say. You're still showing up. You're still doing it. And what I love is you're not allowing fear to get in your way. Because I think with the seniors, they get scared or, oh, I can't drive the freeway. I can't do this. And my life's over because that's the route that they only know. They're very, one track mind. But when you say there's other routes, there's other ways. You can ask a friend for help. You can call up someone.
But they have things that are available to them.
Yes.
Okay. On almost all of the Medicare Advantage plans, they provide you transportation to the doctor's office.
I mean, could that get any better?
And back, which it's there.
Right.
There's the access. Different communities have different things to get you around.
The gentleman that I volunteer with, he takes access and loves it. He gets to go to the beach and he tells me all about it. Like, without them, he lives in Long Beach. He has the access taken to Hermosa Beach every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It is his favorite thing. Then he tells me all the people he meets along the way because they're picking up this person and, and he has help. And that's what the beautiful thing is, like, through the insurance, there's so many things that can help, but people don't actually take advantage of it.
True. Absolutely true.
So maybe you could talk about that.
There's a lot of things on the insurance that so I mean, you can definitely the transportation's there. There's different things. Some of the insurances have exercises for the brain.
Yeah, that is a really big. I want you to maybe. The brain is one of the biggest things, and we don't really exercise that because we're not necessarily. We're sometimes just sitting there on our phone or not being present, but these little brain games,
they're really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're absolutely really fun. And it makes you think, and it will challenge you, the different games that they have.
And I know a few sites, if you want any suggestions, anybody, like, I can help you on that level.
And you don't even have to use your insurance for it.
Yes.
There's a ton of games out there. If you have a smartphone or one of the pads.
Yeah, they like an iPad
or if you're used to using your computer.
Yes.
There's a ton of things out there.
There's not just one way. And then also I think too, what about mental health? Is there stuff for your services that you offer?
Absolutely. And I was going to bring that up because mental health is really, really important. So if you're showing signs of dementia, Alzheimer's, the mental health is there. And mental health is also there to help us go through those losses that we were talking about at the beginning. Because may it be the loss of your animal?
Right.
Is it the loss of your friend? Partner? I mean, it can be
a coworker, anybody.
It can be, a loss has come in many things.
Correct.
Losses also come in giving up your independence.
Yes, that's really beautiful. I think that's one of the biggest things with seniors, and what they tell me is like, Elena, I don't want to give up my like when we had to take away my grandma's license. That was one of the hardest things, but she physically could not drive anywhere. She mentally, she knew she could, but her body and her reaction was not safe. Yeah. And I think that's hard because it's like you're taking that from them. Like, how do you take that?
It's very hard.
And they take it personally. Yeah. It's like you're taking it from them, and it's to understand it's not you, it's the situation. Yeah.
Now, I know I have an aunt who's 95 and a half years old.
Yes.
Okay? She's my hero because she still goes to the gym.
I mean, that's why I do what I do. When you hear these stories, it's so inspiring. Like, it lights me up so much to hear you talk about your 94-year-old aunt going to work out, who probably works out more than me and half the world.
Okay. But she was 100% deaf. So, and she was still out there driving, but she wasn't hearing. Oh my God. And with her hearing, she was not, this before all the safety features came out. And she backed into cars, okay? So finally, and then in her late 80s, she was diagnosed with macular degeneration.
Yeah, I used to sell eye vitamins for that, so I know exactly what that is.
All right. So you have to give up driving, okay? So she had to give up driving. So, but my aunt, I have to use her as an example.
Please do.
Her daughter moved to another state.
Okay.
And because of the differences, she lived in the San Fernando Valley and we're here in Long Beach.
Yeah, and that's like a whole nother state.
It was like a whole other state. So for me to move her from where she was to this area, she might as well move with her daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what she did. So what does she do?
Yeah.
She finds out, she joins a gym, It had to have a swimming pool.
Oh my God.
And
Amazing.
she needed a bridge club. And she found a bridge club. She has become so part of the community.
Yeah.
And she just did this 5 years ago. So she did this at age 90. Okay?
I mean, even more incredible and inspiring people, like hearing this
So
story.
she had the motivation.
The motivation. That's a
The
great word.
motivation. Now, she's always had motivation.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've had motivation.
Yeah.
Obviously, your parents had motivation.
Yeah.
Okay?
Apple doesn't fall far
But
from
not
the tree.
everybody has motivation.
No. And I want people to know, like, I'm not happy every single, but I don't put my stuff on someone, I show up, but like if I'm having a bad day, I'll say, I'm having a bad day. You feel that emotion, and then tomorrow's the next day, and you put it down. But,
sometimes you have to look at that emotion. I have something that I don't talk about. She knows about one of my sons. I have another son who does not talk to me.
Yeah.
Okay? And every day I have to deal with his not talking to me.
Yeah.
So, but I can't let that define me or stop me. Or am I going to sit there and feel sorry for myself?
Right, because what is that going to do?
It's going to do nothing.
It's going to only hurt you.
Absolutely.
It hurts you in the inside, physically, mentally, all of the above.
Does it catch up with me at times? Absolutely.
But you're human, and what I love is that you're vulnerable, and thank you for sharing that, because that's, a lot to share. But it will help someone else out. So someone else who's feeling this way can talk to you and understand, like, I get where she's coming from.
And because I find all the things that I've been through in life, the hardest thing is that I have a child that doesn't talk to me.
Right.
Okay? It's really hard. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's there every single day.
Right. And it's how you choose to show up for yourself and how you want to deal with it.
But do I sit and think about why he doesn't talk to me? Yes. Now, you said something earlier that I want to go back to. Mm-hmm. You got to put yourself in that other person's shoes. Mm-hmm. And I try to put myself in his shoes and come up with why he doesn't talk to me. Right. Because we're all responsible for something.
Exactly. And like, I love that you say, my mom always said, you have a choice, you have your actions, have consequences. It's like, we all show up, and it's how you choose to show up.
Right. So, I know we've been talking and talking.
Yeah. And so we could talk for hours.
The show could go on forever. And I don't even know how long we've been talking.
I don't either.
All right. But we could go on forever, okay? And we have a good time together.
Yes, we do.
That it always shows, yes, okay.
Like, there's no fake between, like, this was not even, like, scripted.
So one of the things that I want to talk about, Elana, right now, is that she has a motivational show that she does.
Yes.
So why don't you talk about your show and give them the name of your show?
It's called Your Healthy Vibes, and it's kind of what you, it's how you show up. It's not changing you. It's everybody thinks new year, new you. You don't have to start over. You don't have to do new. It's what kind of vibe. How do you want to show up? How do you choose to what you want to do? So my last one was with my dad. It was embrace the muck. He's had cancer, a heart attack, COVID, and fell off a chair and had his orbital bone and has a metal plate in his face now. Did he let that define him? No. So these shows and things, it's just, different things of what vibes you want. Another was how to get off the hamster wheel. We all get in there. So we think of something and then we spiral out, and, that's hard too. So like talking about all this stuff, it's how we choose to deal with it, how we choose to get out of our head, and there's things that we can do with that, and, another one is like new year, not new you, it's embrace you. In new year, embrace you. You're embracing who you are and showing up for yourself. You don't have to change, because everybody says you got to change yourself, and you don't have to change. And when we put these, New Year's resolutions, and we don't do this, and you put these titles, oh, I was bad, I'm a failure, I didn't please. No. We need to stop with the name calling ourselves and the titles and doing those things, because we all get our head and you're good or bad. There's no good or bad. You showed up.
I think you're not the failure. Maybe what you did, you failed at.
Right.
But was that old song and from Doris Day that, so I'm going to start all over again. Dust myself off and you're going to start off. Yeah. So you're going to start all over again.
And that's okay. I think we put this pressure, and we want society, you have to show up for this person and that person.
Right.
And what I say, you have to care enough to love yourself. That's my biggest thing. Anybody can love, but if you don't care enough, then you're not going to love yourself. Right. So it's caring enough to do something about it.
Yeah. And it's real important. So she has a really good show, and we will post how to get a hold of her and how to watch her shows. Also, our season 3. This is our season 4 of our broadcast. Season 4. Yeah.
Woo-woo.
Our season 3. We exercise together. So
we
if
had
you
a great
want to see
time.
what we do with exercising, and please go back and watch that show. You will find it on YouTube. You will find it on Facebook. If you go into benefits for U2 insurances services on Facebook, you'll find it there. You'll find it on Instagram. So we had a fun show with exercising,
which she was like great at. And so I think it just shows it doesn't matter what age, it doesn't matter where you're at, even though we work with that, it's how you show up and what you're choosing to do.
And the exercising, am I going to exercise at the same level my 25-year-old is going to exercise? No.
But you know what? At the same time, you might, because for me, I've been in 3 car accidents. So I am going to be 42, but I can't, quote unquote, do something that when someone looks at me. So that's where I can really relate. I can give a modification. I can show up and say, you know what? I may not do it full out, but here's how you do it.
Right. And it's just like, I have a knee that bothers me.
Right.
So I exercise. But I also know that my exercising isn't enough. So I'm going to go back and say, I asked for help.
Yes. Number one, asking for help.
And next week I start with physical therapy.
Beautiful. You know?
Which is that I'm asking for the help that I need.
And I loved physical therapy when I was in my car accidents. That really saved me too. And that's where I kind of started to why I teach Aqua Aerobics, is because pool therapy really saved me. That was one of the best type of exercises and things that I could have ever done. Yeah.
So if you happen to live in the senior community, or you're a member of an organization that has a pool, take advantage of those exercise classes, because they're one of the easiest things you can do.
And they're so fun. Like, that's why we live in California, so you can be in a pool all year round doing things, you know?
Right.
You know?
And if you don't know how to swim, maybe it's good time to learn how to float.
But I actually had a couple people in my class who didn't know how to swim, who stayed in the shallow end, wore floaties, and did it every single time, and they did not allow them not sing, right? Yes. So,
yeah. So I encourage you to watch her show, and please come back and visit our show again.
Yes.
I'm really excited, and I'll have her on again, because we always have a good time.
We do. I just want to say I'm so grateful for being on this show, and I love our interaction, and just, you know, the energy, the vibes that you and I give to each other. We have really just such a beautiful time. So thank you for having me on today.
Thank you very much, and everybody. If you need any help understanding your Medicare benefits to use for your motivation, you have exercise programs that are part of your Medicare Advantage plan. You need to use those, because they're not costing you anything.
And no one uses it. Like, I wish I was this age so then I could get this stuff, because you know, why do I have to be, you know? So take advantage, because I wish I could.
Right. There's mental health part of your Medicare Advantage plans. Even if you have a supplemental plan, it's out there, it's available.
There's something out there for everybody.
There's something out there. And she named something earlier, and there is a plan out there that, say you have to go to the hospital, and you have those pets at home.
Yeah.
They will provide you some kind of a service to help you take care of your pet.
I mean,
so you need to know your benefits. And I think I'm going to be sitting down with her and going over some of the benefits.
I would love that.
So she can help her clients out. But we're available to you. We love to be able to help you. And please contact us, and have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Thomas. I want to share with you a professional products and services directory we call Going Solo Directory. And you need to check this out. If you want exposure to your business or are seeking professional product or services, this directory has it all. And that membership, for the many special features, you get the benefit of a worldwide exposure with a 40-minute video interview on an international business show showcase. All this for just one low annual fee. For more information, contact GoingSoloDirectory.com